I don't know about you guys, but
Okay,
I
you
love
guys are
doing this. Love
you guys
doing
are good to go.
And we're live. Okay.
We're live and Paige is over there in her headphones making sure we can do this.
Hey, Susan. Hey, Hany and Layka. Paige. Good to see everybody.
Hi.
Bye.
Well, Hany and Layka are back with us for a second week, talking about the Panamanian perspective of what's going on down there and the work they've been doing. We got so carried away last week. I think it was 40 minutes and we were just, still, maybe the third
Just
point of the
jabbering
conversation.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we all
Lots
need to
to
get
say.
together with good coffee and just.
Yeah.
Well, check on the coffee. I'm ready. It's almost like we're all in person.
Have tea.
Have water.
So let's pick up. Last week, we really wanted you guys to kind of talk about what's happening with the virus down there, how things have changed since COVID has, started a few months ago, and kind of what's the status of the people down there and y'all's lives and how they've changed.
Yeah, well, today we opened the quarantine, or the quarantine is open.
Oh yes, we're in the second phase. Fase?
Yeah.
Fase?
Yeah, face.
And yeah, basically now we are allowed to walk outside. Well, since I think 5 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yes.
Yes.
So you
So
couldn't
now-
even walk outside?
No, we weren't.
It depends. If it's a
Possible.
kind of emergency, or if you have to buy medicine, you can go out. And if you live in the capital, you are not allowed to go to another province.
Wow.
You can't
Yeah.
cross like a province line. Like we couldn't cross state borders there for some time.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty strict, but now it's okay. People can walk outside, do exercise, and being able to work.
So when did everything kind of shut down in Panama?
Wow, it's been a while.
Yes.
Like,
I think in March, when the
Mid-March.
moon, yeah.
we almost have 1 month now. That the things were pretty strict.
Are you wearing masks?
Yes, if you wanna go out, you have to use the mask.
Keep the
Would you know who
distance.
makes masks? Paige makes masks, actually.
If the mail was better, I'd send you some.
And so what was but in the strict period, you guys kind of told me some about this before, but what were kind of like some of the guidelines you were under in the period,
Yeah,
I guess
well,
the period before?
Well, before, the rule was women have a day for going out and men's as well. But we were divided. For example, Monday, there was just allowed to women walk outside, and depending of our last number of the ID. For example, my last number of my ID is 2, so it means I'm allowed to walk outside since 1:30 to 3. So my hour should be 2 p.m. So I have 2 hours to walk outside, and if they see me outside and it's not my time to be outside, I could be arrested.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that daily?
Well, it was, but now with the second phase, it's we are allowed to walk, women's and
Okay.
men,
Yeah.
Wow.
and work.
But
and-
that's interesting because we weren't. That's an interesting way to do it with your last number of your driver's license or ID.
And
Yeah.
Because
also,
we don't.
uh-huh.
Yeah, we don't. You were always allowed to go out.
Well,
But-
in North and South Carolina.
In North and South Carolina. We did a lot of walking.
I did a lot of hiking.
And they had essential businesses and non-essential businesses. So like the grocery stores were open, the drug stores were open, construction was still going on. People were still building, things like that. And we're supposed to be, what are the rules now, Rachel? I can't keep up with it.
I think we're going out more. There's been more businesses added to like what's essential.
Oh yeah,
So more
restaurants and
have
yeah.
opened up, right? The restaurants have opened up and they can be like at 50% capacity, but you know, all that stuff was kind of closed for us. You couldn't, whenever we were in the tight lockdown, you know, you could only do carry out. All the small stores were closed, like books, libraries, bookstore, all the, you know.
And in a lot of states, that stuff is still closed. North and South Carolina are some of the states that have opened up earlier.
Right. Are those kind of stores opening back up for you guys now too? Like the smaller businesses?
Oh, they haven't. The big malls haven't opened. Just a small store and actually pharmacy just
Well, they were working as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
but not the big mall.
Yeah, the malls aren't
Malls,
open here
no.
either, or they weren't.
They are
And
in
one
South
of the
Carolina.
Yes, one of the rules was that you needed to have a paper or a permission if you wanna.
Mm.
If you work, you have a.
Or
you need to have a permission.
yeah, for little business like us, we have the permission, so we are allowed to sell.
Okay. It's so interesting because it is very different than what we see over here.
Well, I just
What-
feel like if the U.S. would have been like, okay, women, you can only go out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and men, you're Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I just feel like the U.S. there would have been uproar around the U.S. about that. So I
Yeah.
don't
And
think it would have worked
Sunday-
well here.
Well, either an uproar or a thank you, God.
I think a lot of people would have just ignored it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
terrible,
probably.
but that's what would have happened.
Yeah.
But I hope it's keeping, I hope that it has made a difference and that it has been beneficial for you guys.
For
What are the-
Panama, yeah.
Like,
Remember Sunday and Saturday?
Yes, Sunday and Saturday were lockdown, like quarantine for everybody. So
Wow.
nobody was allowed to walk outside. Yeah.
every week.
It was during the quarantine,
Yeah.
every Saturday and Sunday, every
Mhm.
weekend.
Wow.
Wow.
Basically, like you could just stay inside your plot of land, in your patio, or in your
Yeah.
yard.
Yes, because with 2 hours, you couldn't go far away, just
Yeah.
around the towns or the cities.
And what about like food and did you see a lot of food shortages with people? Did you see a lot of
Well,
of need-
supermarkets were opened.
Yeah,
Right.
the supermarket, but the restaurant were working by delivery,
Uh-huh.
just by delivery.
By delivery.
yeah.
And yeah, there were a lot of people making long lines.
Mhm.
just
Were
to
they
buy
able were they able to keep the important things available to purchase?
food. Like
Um,
Like toilet
paper. There was a time.
They put a restriction. You can buy just one alcohol or two alcohol
Yes.
per person.
okay.
So everybody could get some
That's good.
of anything. Yes.
And what
Mm,
about,
that's
did you
good.
guys get any like anything from the government? Because in the U.S. they did a lot of sort of bonus checks, kind of stimulus
Mm.
checks to different people and different, ranges of income. Did you guys get anything like that?
Well, actually, yeah.
Yeah, they do. They do. They give us bonus.
Yeah.
And
Something called like La Bolsa Solidaria that basically was food, bonus and food for people who weren't working, for people who have a small business, and yeah.
mhm.
hmm
Well,
It was
that's good.
yeah, it was good. Good.
But it's good to. I'm glad to hear that Panama is kind of opening back up. You think are the numbers in Panama looking like maybe you're past the worst of it, or you don't know?
We have to wait until the 50 days after
After
it's open.
this is all open, so we have to wait. But
Yeah.
for now, we have a number of like 13,000 cases,
Wow.
so that's a lot.
Yeah.
And we are just like 4 million people, 4 millones, 4 million people.
With my next
Sorry.
question. So that's statistically, that's a lot of people that got
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's statistically higher.
But I
And-
think it's because the culture. Yes, because
culture.
Panamanians, yeah, they're pretty close to each other. They don't know how to keep distance.
Well, I mean, I talked to a good friend of mine who is very close to a family in Brazil, and she actually got stuck there right before, very similar to how Rachel got stuck in Peru, and just because of cultural norms, it's very hard because you kiss each other on the cheek, and that's how you greet everybody, and to learn to not do things like that you grew up being taught is the polite thing to do is very hard.
Yeah.
The closest thing we have is a handshake, and that's even not even as normal as a greeting. Like not everybody even does that. So it's for the cultures that have such a tight-knit community and have greetings that are very personal. It's much different to learn to not even come within a certain distance of somebody. So
Yeah, that's basically pretty true.
This
Yeah.
modifies our culture.
Our culture. Yeah.
yeah.
Did y'all have like the 6-foot rule to stay 6 feet away from other people?
2 meters?
Tomato.
Yeah, I was gonna say
More or
they don't use feet.
Yeah.
8 meters.
Metric system.
It's only us.
Well, I know that we will be happy when you guys can travel again, and we will definitely be putting you to work.
Yeah. Yes.
We got I know we got a few things on the horizon that you guys have been talking about trying to do. I know that there were a couple of Peace Corps projects which are just kind of paused right now because Peace Corps was pulled out. So we'll see what happens with those. I don't know if other people will go to those sites. But you guys had another one that we're hoping that you get to do kind of near your house where you live now, right on the east side of Panama.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's like 2 hours from our
Well,
town.
maybe a little bit more, depending, because we have to take a boat
Yes.
if we want to get there.
A bus and then a boat, right?
One
A
library?
bus, then a boat, and yeah, maybe probably a car or something
Yeah.
after the boat.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's how we roll.
How did that? I think that was a completely connection that you guys worked out. So how did that one come about?
Well, I would say our family is very known here in the town because of my mother, and they knew that we are helping, like we are working with you guys, with the organizations, and yeah, when we feel proud about something, we just used to talk about it, no? So my mom, we're talking about that and what we were doing, and this woman says, "Oh, really? I am the like supervisora, like
Supervisor?
director
She was the
Director.
director for
of
the
the
school.
school." And she said, "We don't have food. We don't have," and we were looking for build a library. And then then everything is starting there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is great because I think we're very fortunate in so many ways to have you guys. But you can help us judge when it's safe. Because I know we need to come down and bring y'all some more books and supplies.
No, I need to come meet you guys.
Me too. So, you can gauge it better than we can. We're having a hard time trying to figure out when it's safe for us to do ones in the U.S. So I'm especially grateful for all the work you do because it expands what we're able to do as an organization. And I think it's cool that people are hearing about you and approaching you because that's what we're beginning to experience more and more. When we first started, I had to hunt for a library site. And now I don't need to do that anymore. They find me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are a walking advertisement for us down there.
That's right.
But this one, and whenever you guys do it, maybe hopefully we can have you back on again and we can kind of talk about how that trip went. But I do think this one's really interesting because it's multi-grade, right? Isn't that what you guys are telling me? Multi-grade kind of.
This school have just 2 classrooms. They don't have internet, and yes, they have like 4 teachers. Yes, 4 teachers
For all the grades.
for all the
In
grades.
just 2 classrooms. No
And
books,
no electricity, right?
no
I don't
electricity,
think so.
no internet, no.
So this must be in a much smaller community.
Yeah, they are like
Like,
I don't
The school is in the center.
the center. So the towns is small, but there are other towns around. So
Mhm.
all the kids go there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of children for
That'll
those
be
4
like-
teachers.
200.
Wow. That is for 4 teachers.
Yes. It's
Well,
because sometimes the kids, they for example are 12, but they are still in like quinto grado, like sexto
Fifth.
grado.
5th and 6th.
Yeah, depending. Sometimes they are not like according to the age in the school.
I see.
Right.
We've seen other schools like that.
Yeah, there
But
was one
that's
in Roatan, Honduras. It was a 2-room schoolhouse, but they were just primary school, just first through 6th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, but they did have some power. It just wasn't reliable power.
yeah. Well, the one we did on Isla Bastamentos was like that. It was just everybody together. It was basically just young children and older children.
Yeah. Back in the US, 1-room school days.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it sounds like, you know.
Well, I mean, gosh, for 200 students and only 4 teachers, it sounds like a really great place for us to be.
Yeah.
I bet you though, are there different turns? Like there's a morning and an afternoon?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just 2
But even
classrooms, so
still-
they.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's still
Even
I mean,
still,
that's
that's a lot
of
packed
students
in there.
to go through, but it's really exciting that we'll be able to help them.
Yeah, please send me the info because we're supposed to have a board meeting next Monday and I want to present to the board all the potential libraries. So if you'll tell us about that one and even the ones that I wonder, even if the Peace Corps isn't there, if there's another community contact in some of those communities where you used to work with Peace Corps.
Mhm.
Since we
Well,
don't
and
know.
if it's a school, then it'll also have the school contact.
Yeah.
Right.
I
The
think
ironic one about the one that they're gonna do is that it's on a place, it's on a lake. So they're taking the boat, right? It's a community on the outside of a lake. And it's about 2.5 hours from Panama City. And I think that was a man-made lake to pump electricity to Panama City. Isn't that right, y'all?
Oh yeah, but they don't have it.
But they don't have electricity,
Right.
which is kind of
It's
ironic,
like,
right?
yes, it's ironic.
Jeez.
It's really interesting to think about. So yeah, I'll be excited to hear when you guys get back on that one. And yeah, another thing I was kind of wondering is what's one of the best things you guys have learned with us so far? Learned with one library at a time.
There is a lot.
Good things, just good things.
well, for me, the first thing is like have we work with you in your on stage, like for example, how to say it, like not in a Panamanian's way.
Oh, like
in
the
Americans
schedule
way,
and
like with
itinerary
schedule, everything like has to be punctual, having everything ready, and yeah, that's it. And another thing is like the cultures, how the cultures can work together, and I think for me that is the best thing.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite parts. I mean, coming from the other side of that.
Yes, it's true. For me, it will be the same, and also work with the kids. It's wonderful how they wonder about things, and you can show them, and it's amazing. It's an experience that cannot be explained.
I agree.
Yeah, and we,
Yeah,
we plan our itineraries, but especially with new people that are traveling with us, I have to say, this is our itinerary, but when we get there, it's going to change.
It's going to be
For
different.
sure.
It's going to
For
change.
sure.
If you're a person who has to know where you're going to be at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you don't need to go travel with us.
there's a saying in
we
Spain.
try to follow the schedule, but you have to be prepared for everything.
Yeah.
Transport, weather.
You have a plan B and a plan C.
There's a saying in Spanish, hora panameña. Well, let me just say in Spanish and in Panama, which basically means the Panamanian or hour. I'm about to do Spanglish
Panamanian
here.
hour will be like 30
Panamanian
minutes.
hour. Yeah, and
Hour.
it's funny to think about it, yeah, because I think a lot of times Americans or anybody from a lot of the Western developed cultures kind of come in to other cultures, and we come in with like maybe we come in with some expertise or some resources, but it's a real like challenge and learning process for both sides, because we're also coming in with schedules and itineraries and like the way we think things should be done. And it's
Impossible.
both sides have to learn from each other, so I think that's always a learning curve. Okay, the last thing I wanted to ask you guys while we still have you is, do you have any favorite memories with us so far? Because you both have done a couple of trips, so thought it'd be fun if you could share one.
There are a lot.
They're all good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
Well, didn't your mom fly for the first time or something? To David?
Oh yes, I did that. I needed someone to help me because I was just going to buy the books, and because it was my first time doing something alone. I was kind of like nervous, so I asked her to come out with me, and she says yes. It was a nice experience traveling with her. And we buy the books, we met with a girl, and it was really, really good experience.
Was that Laura? Was it Laura?
Yeah, that was Laura.
Yes, Laura.
Yeah, that's the one where you guys didn't have, it was a tight turnaround time. And so.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That chaos was my planning.
No, but I'm glad we got to do it.
I am too. But I'll take full responsibility for how crazy that ended up.
Paige is the first one to meet Laura.
Yeah, she helped with one of the libraries I did in Volcan. And so we connected and put that together last minute, and it wouldn't have been able to happen if you guys hadn't have been there. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
I think we were happy. I think we were all happy from one library at a time that we could give the resources.
Absolutely.
Even though we couldn't send Hany and Layka, Laura was already trained kind of.
Yeah, because she had volunteered with me.
Right, from doing yours. So Layka couldn't go on that one. So we sent Deborah, Hany's mom, and because it's better to send in twos. And
right.
So yeah, that was a good memory. I just want to share a quick memory with both of you went on separately with me, and I remember that we got to this one site, and we were thinking, the volunteer looked at us and she said, "Honey, was this me and you, or me and Layka in the back of the truck?"
It was
Okay, so we get to the entrance, and this volunteer lives like in the mountains in Panama, in the Comarca. So we're talking west side Panama, in one of the reservations for the Nobe people, and so anyway, we get to the entrance, and we've done the book buying the day before. We're there, and the volunteer looks at us and she's like, "Guys, this is perfect timing. I can't believe this. A truck has just pulled up. We're in great luck. Like, let's get on. We're getting right up the mountain or whatever." So we get on. We've already been sweating that day. It's just nice to be in the breeze, sitting on the back of the truck. And the scenery before you is just unfolding as we go up into the mountains. It's really beautiful. At the same time, so it's me and Hany and the volunteer, and all the books in between us in suitcases. At the same time, a huge storm rolls in. And I kid you not, the floodgates open as we are in the back of this truck going up the mountain. I mean, just several minutes previous, we were snapping photos. Hany was taking photos of me with a good background, you wind in your hair, and it was wonderful. And then it was a torrential downpour, and we're in the back of this truck, and we're like, "Oh yeah, this is great luck."
I remember.
And Susan, you always send us with these little pocket ponchos, right?
Oh,
I can never remember to put them in like a grabbable place. But this time they were in the front pocket of the suitcases, right? Since we had the suitcases, they were there. So I'll get it out and I throw it over to Hany because she's like on the other side of the truck, the truck bed, and she's like, "Rachel, are these for me or are they for the books?" Hany, put the poncho on. And the volunteer, bless her heart, she's got an umbrella,
Umbrella.
She's getting soaked. She's trying to cover me, and she's getting just drenched. And I was like, "Listen, don't worry, just take the umbrella back over there. Like, I'm fine. This is already bad. Like, this is not going to get any better, So anyway, that was probably one of the funniest ones that I've had with you guys so far. Like, it was just.
But the books made it.
Susan, they were double protected in the suitcase and then in the plastic bags that you send us with to put the books. So.
I feel like
this is something really important to do, to cover the books, because knowing the weather.
Yeah.
Well, and now we're going to more hard case.
Yeah.
Instead of the fabric. And that's one of the reasons. It's because if they're the hard suitcases, water won't be a problem.
Yeah.
Rain won't be a problem. So you can actually use the ponchos to keep yourself dry.
let's end this on a great story because we are pushing time right now. And
Well, thanks for coming on with us again, guys. And I know that we will definitely have you on again. We'll be excited to see when things open up, the next election library you guys are able to do.
And
Yeah.
stay safe, stay healthy.
hopefully we can talk to you guys again. Go
Take
volunteer at the library and bring back some more stories.
care. Bye, y'all.
Sounds good.
Bye.